I can't judge nobody. Like I have no room to judge anybody. Like I cannot judge one person. I can't judge the homeless person. I can't judge the person who got 100 kids. I can't judge anybody. I have no room to judge anybody because I have yet to judge myself. Do you hear what I just said? I have no room to judge anyone because I have yet to judge myself. And even, listen, I'm not a theologian, but I believe somewhere in the Bible it says God don't even judge you to the end of your days. We spend so much time judging people and assuming what other humans should be like. We don't spend enough time judging ourselves and telling ourselves what we should be like. We expect everybody around us to be perfect, but it's okay for us to make mistakes. We don't allow other people to make mistakes around us. We get so mad if somebody make a mistake, so mad if somebody's late. We get so mad if somebody don't get our order right. We get so mad if somebody don't do it the way we would have did it. We get so upset when people make mistakes as if we don't make them. Our expectation exceeds our appreciation, and that should never be the case. When things go wrong, you shouldn't be getting upset. When things go wrong, you shouldn't react. You should just respond appropriately. Give people room for error. You got to give people room for error. I don't know what it is about us. We expect every human besides us to be perfect, but it's okay for us to make mistakes. When you start recognizing that everybody on this planet needs room for error. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody deserves room for error. Every restaurant that you go to, they need room to mess up your order. Every time you go somewhere, you got to give them some room for error. Nobody's perfect, but we expect perfection from everybody else except ourselves. We expect everybody else to be perfect, but we don't expect ourselves to be perfect. Nobody else can forget, but we can forget. We could tell somebody something a week ago and then get mad when they don't do it or they forgot. As if you ain't never forgot something. Well, I told them a week ago. I've been told them they should have did that. They should have did that. Well, people forget. They're human. Have you never forgot something? Room for error. Give people room for error. That's because people don't sit in appreciation. People can't wait to see somebody to make a mistake. People can't wait to correct somebody. It's a bad trait that we all have. When you start living in the aspect, you start living in the area that all I'm gonna do is appreciate and stop expecting. I'm just gonna appreciate and stop expecting. I'm not gonna expect nobody to do nothing. I'm just gonna appreciate everything that everybody does. You're gonna live a different life. You're gonna live in a different world. But we live in this me society. It's all about me and mine. It drives me crazy. It's all about the way I want it. It's all about how my life is going to be set up. It's all about me. I was talking to somebody over the weekend, my brother-in-law actually, and he was telling me he spent time in Japan, and the major difference in Japan, he says that people were so much nicer and so much considerate, so considerate. He told me that when the pandemic first hit, he was out in Japan, and in America, all the toilet paper was taken up off of the shelves in America, right? Because everybody cares about themselves. But however, in Japan, that wasn't the case. There was enough toilet paper for everybody because people cared about other people's well-being. People actually were considerate of other people. You MFs are not considerate. Y'all don't consider nobody but yourself. When you late somewhere, everybody else driving slow and you mad at everybody else driving because you late. You don't consider nobody else driving because you late, because you're not on time. Everybody else in the world got to understand that you late should move out the way so you can get to your destination on time. As long as you got yours, you don't care who don't got theirs. As long as you taking care of your family, you don't care. We're so selfish. And that's why we live in such an expectation world. We're so selfish, completely selfish. This is the most selfish I've ever seen anybody be. I mean, literally, the world we live in today, I feel like personally is the most selfish. We don't share. And you know what's crazy about it is, what's more crazy about it? A lot of us, we live in a certain like class. We're in a certain class, middle class, lower middle class, upper class, whatever. We're in the same range. We're the most we have more than most people, but we're the most selfish. Ain't that about nothing? We live in the richest country in America. I mean, the richest country in the world in the history of time. And we're more selfish than we've ever been. Homeless people are some of the most unselfish people ever. They give more. They used to sharing. It's part of their culture to share and look after people. I've had homeless people offer me food, money, refreshments. Didn't even know me. Because they live in a society where sharing literally is caring, and they want to show that they care. They may have whatever life situation they have, whether it be homelessness because of choice, drugs, whatever the case may be. The culture of the homeless is to share. And respect. Sharing and respect. And we have a hard time with sharing and respecting people. And it makes no sense. We're so selfish. That's because we don't appreciate shit, man. Most of us don't appreciate much. We're so bad at it. So I'm saying this, give people room for error and start appreciating over expectation. Give yourself room for error. Most people think they got to get it right and perfect the first time, and they can't admit when they mess up. People cannot admit. Let me tell you something. There's nothing worse than when a person is wrong. I've learned this, and I'm learning this myself. When people are wrong, they can't stand to admit that they're wrong. What they'd rather do is say, I was wrong, but this is why. They still have a blame on something else instead of just taking full responsibility for being wrong. Bro, you wrong. Take the L. You wrong. Regardless of what lets you being wrong, you wrong in the situation. Period. But people can't take that. What people can't take more than anything is responsibility. We spend so much time blaming. We spend so much time blaming circumstances. We spend so much time blaming other people. We blame our boss because we don't like our job. You chose that job. You create your experience. There's nothing I like. There's nothing I dislike more than a person complaining about their job, complaining about their boss, complaining about their superior. Because for whatever reason, it's a part of our culture to not like where we work. It's a part of our culture to not like our boss. Why? Why is that everybody's case? Like, it'd be different if it's just one case or two cases, but why do everybody hate their boss? What the hell is that about? That's because you don't appreciate shit. You have an expectation. You want to be treated like a superstar. You want to be treated like the only one. You want to be treated like it don't work like that. The more you figure out that you're not special, the more special you become. The more you figure out that you're not special, the more special you become. The more human you realize that you are, the more human you become. Everybody think that they got something that to offer that can't nobody else get nowhere. That's not true. I don't think that I'm offering anything that people can't get. Now, I'm not saying you can't get it from every person, but I don't think I'm offering anything that you can't get somewhere else. Of course you can get this somewhere else. Of course. There's the people who've been speaking this stuff before I started speaking it. There are people who've been doing motivational speaking before I started doing motivational speaking. People have been doing radio before I started doing radio. People were alive before I was alive. People been wearing suits before I was wearing suits. I'm not making none of this stuff up. I'm learning and I'm just repeating. We suffer from this idea of pseudo-individualism where we think that we've been the individual. I say it all the time. We think that we've been the individual in a world of individuals. When you stop making yourself, stop thinking that you just this special individual and that the world revolves around you because you so special. That's a person that I don't want to work with. That's a person who don't understand of doing their part doing their part for the team or doing their part for the overall good of everybody that's a part of it. I don't want to hang out with the person that goes to the grocery store and buys up all the toilet paper because of the pandemic. You selfish. Bro, leave the toilet paper for somebody else. So selfish, man. People are so freaking selfish. People are so, we don't consider other people. I don't understand. Why don't we consider other humans? You're not the only one here. You're not special. Like literally, like I have to tell my daughter, hey, stop running all that water when you're in the shower. Like you're not about to get it. Don't just be running the water. And for some people, it's like, it's not a big deal. It's water. I'm like, yo, like that water comes from somewhere. And even though everybody else ain't been as considerate as I am, everybody else ain't thinking on the level that I am, I don't care. I'm not living my life to appease other people. I'm living my life in a way that I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I'm living a righteous path. I'm not saying I do everything correctly. What I'm saying is that I'm intending to. But where we must start is appreciation over expectation. Stop expecting things from people. Stop expecting your boss to treat you a certain way. Stop expecting, period. And then start appreciating. Start appreciating you got a damn job, that you can pay your bills. Start appreciating that you got somebody who love you. Start appreciating the things that are around you and stop having these expectations. Expectations are going to kill you and lead you to disappointment. The best way to appreciate people, I'm going to go back to what I was saying originally, if you're just now tuning in, is to give them room for error. Next time the waiter get your order wrong, don't go off on the waiter. Don't be upset with the waiter or the waitress. Don't be upset with the guy at Taco Bell because he didn't get your order right, because he didn't hear you. Oh my God, they put sour cream in my burrito. I'm about to have a fit. Like, relax. It was a mistake. Room for error. People don't give people room for error. They expect other people to be perfect, knowing that your ass ain't perfect. But because we know that we're not perfect, and maybe that's what makes us upset. I feel like if you get upset with other people that you don't know about anything, you're upset with yourself. And you ain't got over it. So you want to cast out your anger that you have within yourself. You want to cast that out on other people. It's internal. You haven't appreciated yourself. You don't appreciate who you are. You don't appreciate who you are. When you start appreciating who you are, then you start feeling like, man, I got full control over everything. Why am I even tripping? You know, people who don't appreciate a lot, they embed themselves in issues that don't even involve them. Some people run to problems because they enjoy creating solutions. You hear what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you an example. How people come together, and this is, I'm telling you, pay close attention to this. Pay very, very close attention to this. People come together over complaint more than they come together over appreciation. If it's a meeting on why something going wrong, everybody gonna show up to the meeting on why everything going wrong, because they want to be a part of the solution. If you got a meeting where everything going right, ain't nobody gonna show up to that. Hey, we're gonna have a meeting. Let's talk about everything that's going right with the company. Nobody gonna show up. Hey, we got to meet. We got to fix all this stuff that's going on. Everybody gonna show up. I remember one time I was in line I think it was a grocery store or something, and It was a long line, nevertheless. So nobody got introduced or nothing. But people start coming together saying, oh, this line is to complain. This line is long. But they need to have somebody else up there. And another person like, they sure do. And they start laughing and they start going back and forth. And I'm like, yo, ain't none of y'all gonna appreciate this one lady up here that's working her ass off to get this line through? Y'all just gonna sit here and complain instead of appreciating the one lady that's working her ass off. Blows my mind. We had an event the other night where it was only one bartender and one server, and we packed the house out for Podcast Pit. Now, there's two things you can do. You can complain about not enough people, or you can appreciate the couple people that's there. Now, most people get together, like I said, under complaint, under the umbrella of complaint. Complaining why things ain't going right. Complaining why things ain't the way that they expect them to be. Lack of appreciation. Lack of appreciation. So I'll leave y'all with that today. Appreciate over expectation. Appreciation over expectation. Appreciate things, appreciate people, appreciate your circumstances before you start expecting things to change. Appreciate first and give room for error. Give people room to make a mistake. Give people room to not get it right. Give people room to not be 100%. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you this last example. If your wife cooks for you all the time, every Tuesday or whatever, you come home and on Tuesday she don't cook this time. Most people say, well, you ain't cooking today? I expected it to be dinner. First, you know what? You cook every Tuesday. I ain't even tripping on tonight. You cook every Tuesday. Don't worry about it. Two different understandings of appreciation over expectation. Yeah, you may expect it to be dinner every Tuesday night because that's what she usually do. But you got to give room for people not to do what they usually do. They may not feel like it today. They may be off. You don't know what's going on through these people's mind. You don't know what's going on through somebody else's head. So for you not to appreciate and expect over appreciation causes drama. And that's what we don't want in our life. So ladies and gentlemen, y'all make sure that y'all go and win the day. Today's the best opportunity to win. There's no better time than right now. Until Monday, hey, I know what it is. Top of the morning, yo. I'm out.